Okay, so there was a lot going on in that video. Don't worry, I am going to teach you step by step all of the things you need to know about the darkroom. But for today, we're just going to focus on what we need to know to process our pinhole photos. Alright, so to process an image on photographic paper, there are 5 steps. Develop, stop, fix, wash, and dry. So, develop. Developer is a chemical solution, and it changes a latent image into a visible image. So when a light hits a photosensitive surface such as film or paper, it alters the chemistry of that surface. So before developing, the image is invisible or latent. The developer makes that invisible image visible. So just a quick note, in the first 3 steps we must agitate. Now in the previous video with the darkroom basics, you may have seen him doing this. He's very lightly tipping the trays up and down. So when I say agitate, I don't mean agitate, like shake it up really fast or cause bubbles. Basically, we don't want to have any kind of bubbles in the mixture. It's just a very easy, subtle process. Okay, gentle isn't the best word, I guess I should say. A gentle process of just tipping the trays up and down, and this is so the chemistry is continually going over the surface of our image and not creating any issues. We want nice, even results. Okay, so the next step after developing is going to be stop. So stop, you agitate in a stop bath for 30 seconds. This literally stops the developer from developing any further. Next, we need to fix, and we agitate in the fixer for 5 minutes. So the fixer is what makes it so that the image stays on the paper. If we don't fix an image, it's going to fade from the paper and not be there. So that's a really important step. Now, when we're working in the darkroom, you can have your image in the fixer for 2 minutes before you take it into light to check to make sure it's looking good. For example, we'll be doing test prints pretty soon, and this is a time where you just want to test to make sure that it's a good time. Now, if you want to keep that image, if you want to fully fix it, it does need to stay in the fixer for a total amount of time of 5 minutes. So if you take it out after 2 minutes and it looks good and you want to keep the image, go ahead and put it back in the fixer for another 5 minutes. Okay, so the next step is wash. We have to wash our prints in running water, and this takes out all of the extra chemicals that are in the photo paper. So for archival purposes now, all right, for our purposes, we're just doing 5 minutes. For archival purposes, let's say you really get into this type of photography, you want to make fine art prints to show in galleries and such, you're going to want to use an archival washer that actually washes for anywhere between 30 minutes or an hour, depending on the type of paper you're using. That's a little bit more advanced, so we're not going to be going over that in this class, but just a quick FYI. All right, the last step is to dry. So in our lab, we do have a print dryer, but it fits 5x7 prints or larger. So no small strips, no little photos in there. It'll just get stuck and clog up the machine. If you do have a smaller print or a test strip you need to dry, you need to take it in your tray and then go over to the hair dryer and dry it with the hair dryer. All right, guys, so now let's get over into the lab and go over some important safety rules, and then we're going to get working.